Hey, it's Matt Pinfield. It's KLOS New and Approved, and I'm so happy to have Gavin Rossdale from Bush with us today. Gavin, it's great to see you, man. You're on the road, and you're in the middle of this great tour you're doing with Jerry Cantrell, and it's, God, I mean, all the shows, the reviews of all the shows have been incredible. How's the tour going so far, man?
Yeah, so it's snowing. I'm in Salt Lake City, and it's snowing. It's cold. I can feel my nose when I was on the bus. It was great. That's it. Back to this world, and it's fun. So far, so good. We've stepped it up. We really got a great production. We have great sort of set lists spanning all the records, and trying to find that balance between new and old, and just hopefully getting it right.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you are. It's amazing now that we look back in '94 to 16 Stone and all the great records you've done since then. Let's talk about the Art of Survival. I love it. It's a very heavy record, but it's also there's a lot of optimism in just kind of getting through things. Can we talk about the theme of this record?
Yeah, well, I think there's two ways of approaching life. Either head on as an optimist, or sort of sort of labored like a pessimist. And I just think that life is for the taking, and so it's just fun to be go getting and be like a hunter gatherer, as we are hardwired to be. And I was talking last night with Corey about this. Any band on the road, it just takes so much guts to be away, to be traveling the long hours, waiting to play. It's not to say it isn't amazing, but it takes a certain kind of maniac to put yourself through that. And the payoff being the show and that beautiful feeling. But it's a wild life. It's wild life. So anyway, the themes of the record, survival. I think we've all been through it. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's great. Let's talk about this is the second tour since the record came out in the single of More Than Machines. I gotta say, seeing you this summer with Breaking Benjamin and with Alice in Chains, I mean, you guys just crushed it. It was so great watching you run through the crowd, go all the way to the back of the arenas and sheds and outdoor shows. It was just, I mean, you were playing your heart out like every night was your last. And I love that about it. Tell me about what that's like for you, Gavin, because you've always had that kind of commitment to your live performance.
Yeah, thank you for noticing that. I mean, it's the truth, right? Everything is one day at a time, and you look back at your life, and every action you do is sacred, and so every show is sacred, and you can't phone anything in like that. And I don't understand why I have this wild enthusiasm still for the show, but I love trying to get it right, and trying to get people to lose themselves. It's nothing better for me than looking out to the audience and just seeing people getting lost in memories, lost in the moment, lost in how they're storing this evening for the rest of their gig memory that they have, and competing with everyone they've ever seen and will see. Just carving a place in people's DNA. You know what I mean? And we've been so lucky to have so many songs that have that effect on people, because they're like soundtracks to lives in our small world. And so it's a brilliant feeling.
Yeah, and let's talk about the record too. I mean, and the band, because I love that you've been with Chris Traynor now for a while, and Chris coming from that background and working with Helmet and Orange Nine, some of those New York bands that he played with, and he's got it's just when you guys, I know you do the majority of the songwriting on your own, but you've written some songs with Chris as well, and so let's talk about that relationship, because I think it really, the way you guys play off each other in performance and when you write is just something that's really strong. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm very lucky. Very lucky. We have been together since 2002, 21, 21 years, and we're closer than ever. We're just very, very fraternal, very brotherly, like very tuned into each other. We could drive each other crazy in some ways, but we are really very balanced, and that's it. That's what makes it work, and I feel a great kinship with Corey and Nick. And I think that's what I do like, and practice for that fact is what I'm most proud of with this band. We don't get together to tour for anything other than we really like making music all together. And that collaboration is what makes us, whether or not I write the songs, they always go through the bush grinder, you know what I mean? And come out side, and usually the better for it. So it's just a great situation to be in. You friends first, then you make music, travel together, live in really close quarters, literally right now. And it's an enduring relationship and friendship and work alliance. So I'm very lucky.
I think it's great. And, of course, Tyler Bates wrote a couple songs with you on the new album, and your relationship with Tyler is great. And you get to be on the road with him because you took Jerry Cantrell out, and he's playing guitar for Jerry. So there's this friendship that's going on, which I think is great. And the fact that you ended up getting involved with John Wick on the last record on The Kingdom, and then it ended up on that record and working with Tyler.
Lots of stuff. I mean, Tyler's one of my closest friends. Chris is one of my best friends. Jerry just only did a couple of shows with us on the West Coast, but Tyler is I just have the deepest, love and respect for Tyler. He's a great person. And I have a very small band of sort of brothers that I will write with or sing on their music. And Tyler, Chris sends me stuff. Corey has just sent me something that's dynamite, and it just sends me just as we're leaving. So it's like I'm getting to that, but I got to do this tour first. I don't know about writing on the road. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, well, this album it came out great. I know you talked earlier about how when it comes time to make that set list, because there's so many. We're talking about 9 albums and so many great songs, and you have such an arsenal of tracks after this period of time. How hard is that breaking that down live now at this point and coming up with that set list? And how often do you change that pretty much every tour?
Yeah, every tour. I mean, we you then we start at the beginning of the tour. Now we have a sort of skeletal set, like a master set, and there's a few songs that we can substitute within that set. 3-4 songs. That gives a little bit of movement, but we've had only like 4 shows so far. 3 or 4 shows. So 4 shows, I think. So it means that we're just getting steady with that, because we always have the best intention of being professional and rehearsing. And then we get in there, and it's usually like a few days of technical issues, argue about the set, figure it out, get to the set, and then maybe play it once or twice. So there's kind of elements where we're finding ourselves as we're moving along. It sounds horribly unprofessional, but I promise you, we do our best.
No, you do, and it shows with a live performance. So, Gavin, after this tour, what is the plan in the coming months? Once this tour ends, what's next?
I think the next is actually talking about going out in a couple of months with Breaking Benjamin again. There's a little bit of areas with 2 secondaries, they call it. You would understand that, but your audience shouldn't have heard that phrase, but kind of not as big as cities. So there's that. Then there's the summer. We have another song that I think we're going to be bringing out for the deluxe edition. We just recorded that, so that was a blast. That got away for us as well, just finishing that song. But it was like, let's do another song. Let's keep the record happening. All the shows are selling out. Do another song. Just have a #1 song. Just keep it going. Why not?
Just had a #1, and congratulations with More Than Machines.
Yeah, roll the dice and keep fighting. That's what we're like. The UFC. We're like, we're just another rock band in the UFC octagon.
Heavy as the Ocean opens the album. It's such a great track, and it has this absolutely this feeling, this bite to it. You feel this desperation and anger at the same time. There's just a lot going on in that track. Tell me about deciding to open the album with that song.
When I wrote that song, that was really early on, and it really was weirdly that you say that, because it just forced me to put it in pole position. It said, I'm the pole position song.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it set the aesthetic, set the tone. This is May Your Love Be Pure, which follows about three songs after that.
Yeah.
There's in that vein, one of my favorite songs that we have on the record. And yeah, that was a seismic shift. You know, I just got really inspired a few records ago. At the end of the Black and White Rainbows record, when I put on This Is War, I went back off the tour. So we're doing deluxe, and I did This Is War. And that was in response to the Charlottesville guy driving the crowd and killing someone
yeah.
So I was deeply affected by that. So I wrote a song about that. And then that kind of opened the door to, like, you know what, next record, you know, this record's kind of bruised, and the record you made, you know, it's very honest. That's what it is. Let's go make something heavier. So I just got into the whole world of tuning other guitars, other tuning of guitars, tried about 5 or 6 tunings, jammed around, and waited until I found what kind of spoke to me, where I was going, and what I felt was most interesting to me, most kind of provocative, you know, sonically. And then so the first song that came out of that tuning was Heavy as the Ocean.
Yeah.
That's right. That was it. Boom. I'm home for now. This is where I live right now. And I've stayed in that tune throughout. And now I've written new songs for another, you know, whatever, just writing new songs. Stay in that tuning, so it stays super heavy.
Yeah, and it definitely worked for this new record, which is great. Gavin, I want to thank you for taking the time today. I know you're on the road, and it's your day off, so I want to give you a break. But I thank you for coming in and just giving me the opportunity, because I know you, like I said, you know, it's the craziness of bad weather all over the country. And thanks for first thing you do, getting back to your hotel, getting on here with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, love it. Love you, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah,
you know better than anyone about the art of survival. Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Gavin. Thank you so much again.
Okay.
And I'll be seeing you soon back here in Los Angeles. All right? That's Gavin Rossdale from Bush. The new album is called The Art of Survival. Thank you so much for watching and listening to KLOS New and Approved. I'm your host, Matt Pinfield. We'll see you soon.